7:23 in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Sharina Hussein Mohammed was born and grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, and she's originally from San Juan, lived in Diego Martin for a while, studied in Canada, and is now living and working in Dubai for the last 3.5 years, where she holds an executive position with an education management company. The Code of Seven is her first novel and was inspired by her fascination with the existence of other worlds. She's here to tell us more. I think we have an image of the book as well that we will show you in a while. Good to have you with us. There it is. There's the book and a bit about the author on the back part of the cover. So it's The Code of Seven, and on the cover you can see probably the skyline of Dubai as well. It's book one, A New World Order. Yes. Before we talk about when is book 2 and book 3 and book 4, are you going to be the J.K. Rowling of Trinidad and Tobago on Dubai? What inspired you to get into writing?
Actually, it really was a point in my life. I became very reflective as to when I was happiest, and I realized that I was happiest as a young teenager reading, actually. So for most of my adult life, I've been working in corporate world. And I made a decision that at a certain point in my life, I'm going to dedicate time to write.
Okay.
Just to immerse myself in imagination, really.
Okay, so it's a work of fiction. Obviously, you don't want to give all the details. You want people to buy the book, which is available at RIK. And where else?
Signature Stationery.
Signature Stationery in Val Park. Essentially, what is the essential theme, the plot maybe of this book,
okay,
The Code of Seven?
The Code of Seven is actually 7 different individuals from different planets. In the book, I assume there are 7 galaxies. And when they will have special powers, and when they get together, they can create a portal to travel between the 7 different galaxies. The premonition is that also there's a dark force in the 7th galaxy, and he has a disciple in the planet of fire, and he wants to spread, of course, evil throughout all the galaxies, even though the evil does exist right now, but in a more massive way. And this Code of Seven is said to stop him. So that's what for the series are going to.
And obviously there are a lot of common themes coming up: good versus evil, right versus wrong, betrayal, tragedy, all these sorts of things.
Concept of other existence alongside us.
Right. So I mean, it's Trini based in Dubai. It's an unusual sort of environment for us, thinking Trini based free in Port of Spain or anywhere else. Was there anything from where you are based in Dubai now that would have inspired you to push ahead with this idea?
Yeah, I must confess to you, it actually is my love of travel. I always spend time traveling to different worlds. Sorry, different parts of the world. I probably did in my mind, travel to different worlds. But actually, just over the, throughout my life, I traveled to different places. And in the book, I'm influenced actually by Machu Picchu in Peru. Right. I had a very enlightening experience there. Alaska was one of my favorite trips in the Glacier Bay. You just have a connection, you just, when you look at the glacier, or even when you're at Machu Picchu, you just feel there's something else actually. And that feeling stayed with me, and this what has inspired me to actually write about other existence. One of the planets I wrote about is Planet of Enlightenment as well. I can talk about that, but let's...
Sure. Yeah, and the thing is that the literary world is a very crowded space. It's a very competitive space. It's very difficult for anyone to break in, and many people think, for J.K. Rowling to do what she did and, be so phenomenally successful. Are you aspiring towards commercial success, or is this something that is a fulfillment of an inner desire more than anything else? Actually,
it's both, but I wouldn't say commercial. What I want to do, actually, what I want to achieve is I want my book to be read by millions of people, actually, but I want it to actually touch them. I wanted to add some value to their own lives. I just want to actually touch them where they encourage imagination. So one of the reasons you started off asking me why I wanted to write, I just wanted, I think even with adults, I think we should not lose our sense of imagination. I mean, if you understand how I work very intensely, and we have a lot of challenges. I manage actually 2 companies. The education management is what I highlight. But there's a lot of challenges in life, in personal life, managing your schedule with kids and what have you. And I really think all of us have the ability to take the time to immerse ourselves in imagination, or even to pursue something that we like, separate and apart from the routine of your of your work, you know.
Sure,
So
I wanted to develop that in a moment, but just on the point of this being a crowded space, how would you say that this book, The Code of Seven, book one, of obviously book one of a series, which is the intention, do you think this will stand out in the science fiction shelf at RIK or anywhere else? How do you think this will stand out?
I actually want to put a lot of focus on the Code of Seven, the individuals themselves. They all have different personalities, and I'm hoping that each of the reader will affiliate themselves to one of them, at least, you know. One of them should connect
like the 7 deadly sins, the Code of Seven.
No, well, anyway. This is the good part.
Okay,
you know, they're supposed to bring out the good over the evil.
Okay.
The evil does exist, and the idea is that this should bring good energy to all of us. I touch on things like in the book where even when you have catastrophes in the world, sometimes it creates empathy in the world, and that positive energy is what is needed in the world. So I touch on a lot of different things in the book as well. But how it can discern is actually, I was just speaking, you have animation students coming up, and I'm actually going to approach them to create a video for the Code of Seven. So I want to, what is going to discern this book, I believe, is just the emphasis on the actual personalities of the Code of Seven. And the School of Nature, I created a School of Nature, which is with your guardians, your inner voice. So
and is this sort of like an escape from either the humdrum of everyday life, or actually the breakneck speed of everyday life?
For sure.
And
I actually enjoy my time when I'm in the book. I'm writing about them and you know, developing them.
Because Dubai is a strange sort of place in the sense that, you know, you have skyscrapers in the desert, you have ski slopes and so on, and people say, you know, that it's so materialistic, Dubai, that I've never been there, but I mean, what people say, that sometimes it's so artificial that it's very difficult to be inspired in a place like that.
It depends on the individual, what they see.
Yeah.
Right? When I made my first trip there, I felt very connected to Dubai. But it's what the individual sees. Actually, I'm Muslim actually, and there is a lot of mosque. And what I was amazed at is the energy level of the prayer that takes place in all the mosques around me. Even though we have mosque in Trinidad, there you have mosque every other corner, and even though it's all in Arabic, so I don't understand the Arabic. I understand. We have English here. I get that energy as well. So yes, you have skyscrapers. Yes, you have the best of what man can create. Actually, I live on the Palm, so that itself is a phenomenon.
That's a real fancy place.
Yes. Well, no, it's an apartment. No, I on the shoreline apartments, but that itself is a phenomenon for man's creation. But when you even read about the vision of the Sheikh Mohammed, you can realize how positive he is. When he had his challenges with Dubai, Dubai had, you know, it went through its financial crisis, and for him to maintain his steady path, he just maintained positive people around him.
Do you think that the Dubai, just as a quick aside, do you think Dubai is on the right path? That it is, you know, because this pursuit of material things as against maybe a more simpler existence? You know, I suppose it's easy to say.
You see, the thing is, it's both.
Yeah.
They do have.
Do they work together?
Not really, but they're alongside each other. There is
Are there two separate worlds in Dubai?
Probably, probably, but they are alongside each other. The thing about it is, just how we have tolerance amongst different races and religion here, it's the same in Dubai. The simple life, alongside the hectic life, the fast, the glamorous even. It's very glamorous, I must say as well.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What are you hoping? Getting back to the book, The Code of Seven. What are you hoping people, having read it, will get, apart from obviously you want them to look forward to book 2, the second
that
part.
As well, yeah.
So I mean, you have to face the reality. So you want to be a commercial success, nothing is wrong with that, but what are you hoping people get from the experience?
I just want them to, I hope from this book they have a connection with their inner voice. I created a School of Nature as an existence of your inner voice, so it will stay with them. And through, the strongest thing in my life, and I quoted it in the beginning of my book, is your inner voice. So I hope everyone is more conscious of their inner voice, because I believe your inner voice will lead you to your ultimate destiny.
I'm hearing you talking, I'm thinking Star Wars. I don't know if you're familiar with Star
Yes,
Wars.
I am, yeah.
Because, you know, it's all about the inner voice. I keep telling the people inside of here about the force, because, you know, for people, you know, have this inner voice and you know...
But it's the inner voice that led me throughout my life. If you know my family and friends, I have changed my circumstances in my life quite often, and sometimes they're confused about the decision. Like even when I started traveling to Africa, you know, it's not risky, and I was in banking, what are you doing? And I changed my career. But I always follow my inner voice, and you know.
Well, it's taken you to the Code of Seven, book one, and
exactly.
It's available at RIK and at Valpark, and the shop at Valpark.
Signature.
Yes. It's located there. Everything is on the internet these days. Is it going to be on Kindle and all of these things as well?
Yes, it takes about another 6 to 8 weeks, but it's in the process of doing that. I'll have a Facebook up soon. Hopefully I'll use the students that you're coming on next to do a video. I have an author's video, and my website will be launched soon.
All right, and if anybody would like to get information maybe directly from yours to where they can get copies elsewhere in the world and so on, do you have an email address or contact information?
Yes, it's smohammed at stonehilleducation.com.
Stonehill Education, one word?
Yes.
Okay, Mohammed at Stonehill.
Stone like a stone to throw.
Yes,
Stonehill Education.
Stonehill Education, like stoning people to death.
No, it's not stoning people to death. Stonehill has been solid and foundation.
Just chucking a little fire with our guest Sharina Hussain Mohammed. Originally from San Juan, then Diego Martin, and all over the world, and apparently right now settled in Dubai for a while. And the book is The Code of Seven, book one, A New World Order. It should make for a very interesting read coming out of Dubai and Machu Picchu in South America, which is a pretty inspirational place for those who have been there. Apparently, a lot of places in the world that we still have to see. Zanzibar is the place that I want to go to. I always talk about it. Zanzibar, of the coast of Africa. I had to go there, God willing. You've been?
I've been with the Ministry of Minister for.
Let's don't talk now, because I'm getting upset already. Let's take a break, and we'll
tell you how to do it.
We'll go to the cartoonist when we come back right after this.